This week on Sports Paws, all 4 of the winter sports teams continue conference play.
We will bring you all the latest news regarding how the teams fared and show you updated conference standings. Tom, is it time for Sports Paws?
It sure is, Morey, and it starts right now.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Sports Paws. I'm Morey Hershgordon.
And I'm Tom Albanese. For you all Quinnipiac die-hard sports fans, we have a jam-packed show full of exciting game action.
Right you are, Tom. The TD Bank Sports Center hosted 5 games in the last 4 days. All games with crucial playoff implications.
And speaking of playoffs, the women's basketball team is cruising through MAC play and owns a stifling 11-0 conference record. A few days ago, our very own John Alba sat down with senior Samantha Guastella to discuss the team.
John Alba here, representing the Q30 Sports Basketball Beat Reporting Team, and today joined by a very special guest, Samantha Guastella of the Quinnipiac Women's Basketball Team. So I think it's fitting we're going to talk some women's basketball today. Sam, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
And I can't tell you how much we appreciate you being our first in-studio guest for this program. And those of you listening, you can't see her, but if you've gone to a Quinnipiac game, you know she can be quite loud on the court as well, so you'll be able to hear her just fine. So Sam, you're in a pretty good position right now. This Quinnipiac Bobcats team, 19-3, 11-0 in conference play, 10-0 at home. You guys are on the roll right now.
Absolutely.
How's this feel right now?
It feels great. I mean, it's just really exciting. We've worked really hard, and I think it's all paying off, little by little.
Every year this team is a contender, and I always say it on my Twitter: death, taxes, Trisha Fabry home wins. You guys don't lose in Hamden. It doesn't happen. And that's been such an instrumental part in you guys being at where you are in conference play right now. I mentioned 11-0. What is it about being at home that is just different from anything else?
I mean, it's a level of comfort. We play there, we practice every day, and I mean, we love having our family there and, our supporters, and, you look in the crowd and you see a camper that you coached for a summer and stuff like that, and it's a comfort level, and we play really well together there.
You guys have quite the set coming up. You've got Ryder, you've got Iona, you've got Maris. Mm-hmm. The MAC on the men's side has a lot of parity, and it's pretty much wide open for anyone to win. On the women's side, it's not as much that. There's a very upper echelon of teams, that upper tier. Mm-hmm. You guys at 11-0, Marist at 10-2, Iona at 8-4, Fairfield at 8-4. How do you guys go about preparing against these top tier teams? And I know we spoke to Trisha Fabry on this show earlier in the year, and she says you treat every game the same. But is that truly how you go about business?
I mean, honestly, we do. We're playing Ryder first, and we don't look past anyone. And the last 2 days, we've had some really tough practices, and we have two teams. We have our first 5, our second 5, and they're arguably 2 of the best teams, in our conference. And practicing against them every day is what gets us, better to play these teams.
Quinnipiac, Ryder, women's basketball, 2 teams, opposite part of the standings. Quinnipiac undefeated in first place. Ryder not so much. Boo Abshire to start, gives it down low. Val Driscoll off glass and good. Quinnipiac off to a quick 2-0 lead. Abshire again spraying the ball out to her offense in transition. This time it's Nicoline Ostergaard who finishes in transition. Bobcats up 4-0. Ryder, though, would hang tough early on. It's Lachey Banks with the nice put-in off the feed from her teammate. Ryder cuts the Bobcats lead to just 8-7. The freshman Sarah Schuin, though, take baseline off glass, count the basket and the foul for the freshman. 13-9 the Bobcats would lead as we progress through the first half. Sam Guastella, top of the key, just grazes the rim, though. Jasmine Martin tracks the ball down, gives it to Ostergaard. Ostergaard off a pump fake, draws the D, driving baseline, and Guastella will not miss a second time. She puts the Bobcats up 43-18 as we head into the second half. Sam Guastella, again, top of the key. Butter, 15 points in just 16 minutes for the senior, playing like an all-MAC selection. Sarah Schuin wants to get in the three-point barrage action. 3 of her career-high 13 points. Adelie Martucci would put the finishing touches on this one. 96-54, the Bobcats would cruise as they stay undefeated. And now we're going to go.
We have basically 2 full teams that can play with anyone. And I think that that's where this comes from. I mean, we play against, I said this to John the other day in an interview, arguably the best other team in the MAC, which is our second team. At first, when I came here, I was really nervous as to what would be happening, how the lines would be going. But the way that it is right now, I really enjoy that. And it's actually helping me grow as a player.
I just really enjoy seeing the defensive performances we're putting on, not just how offensively, how we have a lot of weapons and that we're able to really create that margin of victory because how we're really defending both teams.
Our own John Alba came up with, Tom, a little award show, a little mid-season award show called the Goldies. Let's check it out. John?
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, thank you, everyone. It's an honor to present at this year's Goldies, where we'll honor the oddly specific achievements of the 20-3 Quinnipiac women's basketball team. This year's winners have helped position their team atop the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference and are striving for their second NCAA appearance in 3 years. Our first presentation is for the double-digit points averaging grad transfer student of the year. This award honors the best Quinnipiac player who is averaging double-digit points and happens to be a grad student. The nominees are Val Driscoll, graduate transfer forward, Jordan Siegler, Q30 sports director, and me. And the winner is Val Driscoll. Driscoll's been a force down low for the Bobcats all season. She's averaging 11.6 points and 7.3 rebounds per game and has quickly adapted to the MAC style of play. She stepped in for the departed Brittany McQueen effortlessly and has been a major part of the team's success thus far. If the Bobcats plan to advance to go dancing this year, her dancing shoes may be the key apparel. Up next, we have the Quinnipiac head coach whose daughter happens to also play on the team award. This is presented to the head women's basketball coach who has helped lead the team to 20 wins and happens to have a daughter on the team. The nominees are Thomas Albanese, Q30 Sports, Trisha Fabry, Quinnipiac women's basketball coach, and me. And the winner is Trisha Fabry. Fabry was predicted as MAC Coach of the Year by Daily Dose of Hoops and has guided her Bobcats to one of the strongest starts in program history. Her rejuvenation of the Gold Rush has allowed the team to spread out its minutes and present a style of depth the conference has never seen before. She's been a force to be reckoned with in her 20th season and has Quinnipiac's eyes set on a MAC championship. Our last award goes to the 6'1" forward from Red Bank, New Jersey Player of the Year. The nominees are Jordan Katz, former Q30 sports reporter, me, and Samantha Guastella, 6'1" forward on the Quinnipiac women's basketball team. And the winner is, what do you know, it's me. I finally won. 1 for 3. That's like a 300 batting average, right? Well, no, not really. It's Samantha Guastella. She continued her senior season dominance with 15 points Saturday against Rider, shooting 50% from beyond the arc. Her 12.6 points per game and efficiency from 3 has made her one of the MAC's most important players, and the team rallies around her. She started in the second line of the Gold Rush in 2013, but has transitioned into becoming one of the stars of 2015's Old Rush. Unfortunately, yes, that means no awards on my end. And while I may be no Meryl Streep, make no mistake about it, this Quinnipiac team is among the strongest the program has ever seen and has a real chance at going dancing in March. Who knows? Maybe I'll notch an Oscar nominee for Gold Rush Part 2. Back to you guys.
So, you know, Morey, with all the success for women's basketball, of course, now let's go over to the men's basketball team, trying to get a win off of 2 straight losses on the road. And, you know, we talk about players like Zaid Hurst, like Usman Drame, but we're going to talk about James Ford Jr. today. He had a career night. Here's what he had to say after the game against Monmouth.
You'll see a lot more of that.
Yes, you
You'll
will.
definitely see a lot more of that. Definitely. I'm confident enough to say that.
So we're just going to have to see if he could go by his words. Here's his first three-pointer of the game.
You'll see a lot more of that.
And he's going to continue his success right here with another three-pointer.
You'll see a lot more.
You know, James Ford Jr., deadly shooter when he's open. He's going to have to play big for the Bobcats down the stretch.
And just like that, there's another three-pointer right there. 9 points. 9 points for James Ford Jr., and he's going to do it now within the perimeter, make it 11.
It's a lot tougher off the dribble than it is on just the catch and fire.
And just like that, we got another quick shot right here, 13 points. And as it goes, the game goes into the second half. Well, he'll add a three-pointer right here. And right there, he has 16 points. James Ford Jr. will finish with 18 points. Quinnipiac goes on to defeat Monmouth 72-52. And another important thing to note, Usman Drame finished with 12 rebounds, eclipsing the 1,000 career rebound mark. So congratulations to Usman Drame on that as well.
Thought it was a really nice bounce-back effort for us coming off a tough weekend in Buffalo. That can weigh heavy on you in the middle of a conference season. Have a tendency at this point of the year to get too emotional over the losses, I think, sometimes, you know, especially when we dug ourselves that 0-4 hole. But it was a really nice bounce-back effort for us. We caught a little bit of a break with, obviously, Nicholas not being able to play tonight, and DeLeo wasn't quite himself either. It seemed like I think he's got a flu or was sick or whatever. And it's obviously nice. We've talked about this a lot, and all of you guys have covered us this whole year when the ball goes in for us. Just a couple times. I mean, I'm sitting up here excited about shooting 39% from the floor, but.
When we return to Sports Paws, the men's basketball team looked to win consecutive games as they welcomed Niagara to Hampden. Plus, the men's ice hockey team continued its season on the road against Cornell and number 20 nationally ranked Colgate. The Bobcats continue their success. We'll find out after the break.
Wake up, Quinnipiac! It's the morning after. Hey! Come on, guys, it's time for TMA. Let's go! What's the morning after? Mondays at 10, only on Q30. We are your source for entertainment news.
I could really go for a Ray and Mike's sub right now.
Come to Ray and Mike's and try our Philly chicken and cheese for just over $4. Giant cheesesteak subs and mouth-watering boar's head sandwiches for as low as $4.75. Q-Cash accepted just a mile down the road on Whitney, here at Ray and Mike's.
We are your source for entertainment news.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. The men's basketball team earned its second straight win on Sunday after defeating the Niagara Purple Eagles 91-69. Quinnipiac earned the victory after shooting more than 54% from the field. The Bobcats nailed 14 three-pointers, the most in a game since 2004. Zaid Hurst scored 10 points en route to becoming the 15th player in school history to score 1,500 career points. Evan Conti scored a team-high 21 points, and Justin Harris contributed a career-high 15 points for the Bobcats. Tom Moore's squad is back in action on Friday as they travel down the road to Fairfield and play the Stags at 8 p.m.
Now let's turn to the ice. Minnesota State tops the latest UCHO.com poll, jumping from third. North Dakota falls from first to second, and Boston University falls from second to third. Nebraska, Omaha, and Michigan Tech round out the top five. The ECAC teams in the poll this week are Harvard in 6th, Yale in 15th, Quinnipiac in 16th, and Colgate in 20th. Tom, the men's ice hockey team was on the road at Cornell. Highlight courtesy of ICTV. Cornell looking to get a much-needed victory. Though in the first period, Travis St. Dennis along the right side will give to Bo Pieper his shot on net, saved by Mitch Gellum. And it will be still tied 0-0. Later on in the first, Cornell on a little break. Cole Bardreau, saved by Michael Garte, comes out of the crease, makes the save, still knotted at 0. Quinnipiac on the power play would try to find Tim Clifton, but he's stuffed by Gillum at the net. As we would move on to the second period. In the second period, it's Eric Freshy here tries to put it on net, but Stonewall Jackson it is. Michael Gartig again keeping his shutout alive in the second period. Again, Michael Gartig would make the initial save, but then it was John McCarron who puts the puck in the net. Take another look at it though. Christian Hilbrick, number 9 for the Big Red, runs into Gartig, goalie interference, not allowing Gartig to move over to attempt to make the save. After taking a look, no goal. Game would still be tied 0-0. Let's move on to the third period. As Sam Annis in the crease, stopped by Gillum. Had to lift that puck just a little more to get the Bobcats on the board, but it is no goal. Michael Gartig stops the wraparound by the Big Red, and we'll head to overtime. This game, Tom, looked like it would go 0-0. Both teams would pick up a much-needed point. But here it is, the senior Travis St. Dennis, backhand top shelf game winner. Bobcats 1, Cornell 0. Michael Gartig breaks the QU shutout record. Take another look at it as number 26 gives the Bobcats their 17th win. 8 losses and 2 ties overall, 12-2-1 for the Bobcats in the ECAC. And here is head coach of Cornell Big Red, Mike
game. Both goalies played well. Both teams played well. Special teams. Both teams played well offensively, defensively. You know, it's just one of those things in overtime. You know, Mitch misplays it to their guy and chose the wrong defenseman, and you know, they capitalize on the break, and they're good at that. They're a good hockey team.
And following the overtime win for Cornell, Quinnipiac finished its 4-game road trip against the number 20 nationally ranked Raiders of Colgate University. The number 16 Bobcats earned a decisive 4-2 victory over the Raiders. With the win, Quinnipiac clinched home ice advantage in the upcoming ECAC tournament. After Colgate's Tyler Spink scored just 12 seconds into the game, Quinnipiac responded with 4 unanswered goals by 4 different Bobcats. Colgate added another goal late in the third period, but it wasn't enough. The Bobcats moved to 18-8-2 on the season. They return home next Friday for the start of their final homestand against St. Lawrence.
And you know, Morey, after those big wins by the men's ice hockey team against Colgate and Cornell, big wins that helped them get even higher in the standings, keeping them in first place.
Yeah, Tom, you're right. Andrew Badillo and Nick Colon talked about which weekend would be a trap weekend for Rand Pecknell's squad earlier this week on Bobcat Breakdown.
7 weeks remain in the season for the Quinnipiac men's ice hockey team, and every game counts. The Bobcats are currently slated to finish 15th in the USCHO.com pairwise rankings. The top 16 teams in the pairwise rankings make the NCAA tournament. A win against Brown Friday night and a tie against rival Yale Saturday night gave the Bobcats some momentum heading down the stretch. But the constant theme for this team this season has been their inability to sweep weekend series. With that being said, Nick, which weekend do you see as a trap weekend for the Bobcats?
Well, they have Cornell and they have Colgate. I'm not too worried. I think they can pull a result against Colgate. What really worries me is the second week of February. Friday the 13th and Saturday the 14th, they have St. Lawrence, who's right under them, and then they have Clarkson. If they can survive that, I think they're in pretty good shape. That weekend might be pivotal for them.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I'm going to agree with you, but I'm going to play devil's advocate right now a little bit. Colgate gives Quinnipiac trouble. They knocked them out of the ECAC tournament last season, and they've gotten healthier since their last matchup against Quinnipiac, where Quinnipiac skated them out of the building 5-0.
Right.
So, do you think that Quinnipiac sort of will say Quinnipiac loses both games against Cornell and Colgate?
Okay.
And they come back and they play better against Clarkson and they win against St. Lawrence. Can you say that Cornell and Colgate is the trap weekend?
You can, yeah, you definitely can if they perform well the second weekend. I mean, St. Lawrence is right under them. They need some wiggle room if they want to win the ECAC. I think that they can get the results against Cornell and Colgate. That we can still, it's still going to be tough. I mean, it's still a tough competition. I don't know. I'm sticking with the second week is going to be the trap week. I think that's where the most trouble is. But they could definitely have some trouble against Cornell.
Yeah,
and Colgate,
definitely.
like you said.
I mean, historically, St. Lawrence really gives Quinnipiac a lot of trouble.
Right.
So, I mean, I agree with you, but I just wanted to pull some answers right there.
Yeah, definitely. And also, when they have Yale and Brown, I feel like that's the weekend they need to do well.
Yeah.
I think they can handle Brown. They handled them already. Landon Smith had a hat trick against them, 5-3, and they tied Yale, as we know. I think they'll be all right against that weekend, too.
Women's ice hockey had their final home weekend of the regular season. Would they be able to take care of business to hold on to first place? And also, the acrobatics and tumbling team was in Texas. We'll tell you how they fared, along with much more. Don't change the channel. You're watching Sports Paws.
That was then, this is now. Don't be just a number.
Hello, welcome to Chameleon.
At Chameleon Hair Color Cafe and Spa, it's all about what makes you feel beautiful. Their professional team is dedicated to helping you reach your customized beauty goals from your head to your toes. Chameleon Hair Color Cafe and Spa, where it's all about what makes you feel beautiful.
Welcome to A Sheer Sensation, North Haven's premier cosmetology service, located at 140 Washington Avenue, minutes from Hamden. We offer an array of services, from basic cuts and colors to lash extensions and formaldehyde-free keratin treatments. We also provide hair chalk and styling for men. When you spend $60, your Q card will get you 10% off. Call us at 203-239-6477 to make your next appointment at A Sheer Sensation.
Welcome back, everyone. Prior to Rick Seeley's squad continuing its season against Cornell and Colgate, USCHO released its latest national poll on Monday. The top 5 teams, Boston College, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Harvard, and Quinnipiac, did not move anywhere for the second straight week. The rest of the poll features Boston University, Minnesota Duluth, St. Lawrence, Cornell, and Clarkson, meaning that the top five of the 10 teams have come from the ECAC.
And Tom, that ECAC is stacked, like you said. 5 teams in the top 10 in the country. Wow, Cornell coming to Quinnipiac in the first period. It'll be Cornell on the break. And it's Jess Brown. Puts the puck home over the right shoulder of Chelsea Layden. 1-0, just a minute and 25 seconds into this one. Not the start Quinnipiac wanted. Cornell, another goal through the 5-hole this time. The goal was waved off. Referee said that the player kicked the puck in. Nicole Costa a little behind Connery on the break there for the Bobcats. The freshman Tori DeAngelis gets the puck out of the scrum, gives it to her freshman counterpart Raquel Penoyer, her first collegiate goal. Another freshman, TT Cianfrano, who fell, is getting checked on concussions. This time it's Jillian Soliner from Brianna Jenner with 30 seconds left in the first period. It makes it 2-1 Big Red. Cianfrano seen without pads, not playing for the rest of the game. How would the Bobcats respond? Well, Nicole Costa off the rebound, 2-2. And then Nicole Connery, the tip in off the Lindsay West shot, 3-2 Bobcats heading into the third. The senior Layden playing in her second to last regular season home game of her career, trying to do all she can in this one for the Bobcats, trying to keep Cornell out of the net. Bobcats defense unable to clear the puck out of the zone. Once, twice, 3 times. Says Layden, no thank you, not today. But later on in the game, with just 6 minutes left, Caitlin Doring, her shot off the glove, trickles into the net. A deflated Layden gives up a 3rd goal. The Bobcats, though, on the power play. The only shot they would get is right there. Really no angle, Tom, all day for the Bobcats on the power play. And then with just 40 seconds left in overtime, it's Hannah Bunton puts in the game winner for the Big Red. A devastated Rick Seeley's Bobcat squad fall in overtime the 2nd straight week on a Saturday. They lose in overtime at home. 4-3, Cornell wins this one. And that would put both teams at 12-3-2 going into Quinnipiac's affair with Colgate. Tom, how would they do?
Well, Morey, the next day, obviously, Quinnipiac, after that devastating loss that you just touched on, they're going to try to get back on the winning ways against Colgate. And what may be better way to do it than on Senior Day, as Quinnipiac honors its 4 seniors, Morgan Fritz Ward, Erica Uden Johansson, Cheyenne Darkangelo, and Chelsea Layden. All 4 of these players have meant so much for Rick Seeley's squad over the last few years. And with this last regular season game for Quinnipiac, they're going to see if they could get the W. Nicole Connery starts with the puck, and she draws it in the net, but a nice save made by Colgate's Ashlyn Rando. So no score early on. Now it's Colgate's turn to try to get some damage done. Brienne Wilson-Bennett to Kayla House, but a nice save right there by Chelsea Layden. And Quinnipiac, Morgan Fritz Ward, she's going to find Nicole Brown. Here comes Emma Woods, but she just cannot get the puck on net. Morey right there, still 0-0. And on the other side for Quinnipiac, Raquel Penoyer, instead of the puck going into the net, she goes into the net. That's not going to get you a goal, Morey. And right here, Colgate just cannot find the net right past Quinnipiac's defense. It's still 0-0 as we're going right into the 2nd period. And in the 2nd period, Quinnipiac on the power play, Nicole Costa to Uden Johansson with a quick shot, but it goes out of bounds, out of play, and it's still 0-0. But Quinnipiac, that's going to change right here. Nicole Costa to Uden Johansson, and Uden Johansson, is going to pick up the rebound right there, and she's going to put Quinnipiac up 1-0. And Nicole Connery is going to seal the deal with this wide open shot right there on the left side of the screen. Quinnipiac is going to go on to win 2-0 on Senior Day. Their last regular season game at home, they're going to go on the road for the rest of the season, Morey.
Tom, on Saturday, the acrobatics and tumbling team kicked off their 2015 campaign on the road at Baylor University in a tri-meet with the Bears and Concordia University. The Bears finished in 1st place with a score of 262.405, while the Bobcats recorded 253.59 points. Concordia registered just 212.34 points. The Bobcats return home as they welcome Oregon University on Sunday, March 1st.
And Morey, although it's not spring, the Quinnipiac softball team was in action with an indoor exhibition game at the Danbury Sports Dome against Sacred Heart on Saturday. The Pioneers defeated the Bobcats 5-3. Nikki Barber got the scoring started for the Bobcats with an RBI triple. And after Quinnipiac tied the game at 2 in the 2nd inning, Brittany Sear hit a single to bring in Hannah Lindsley to put them up 3-2. But Sacred Heart added 3 more runs late in the game, leading the Pioneers to the victory.
The men's tennis team fell to Brown on Saturday afternoon 6-1. The lone victory came from the doubles partners Luke Roser and Willem Van Buysen, 7-5. Next, the Bobcats will travel to Army on February 14th at 9 a.m. The women's tennis team fell to UMass 7-0. The team will play St. Peter's on February 22nd at the SPU tennis courts at 1 p.m.
You know, Morey, well, as the saying goes, time flies when you're just having so much fun. And that will wrap up this week's edition of Sports Paws.
For more information on everything with Quinnipiac Athletics, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Q30 Sports.
Plus, you can check out all of the latest sports news and updates on our website, Q30television.com.
For my partner, Tom Albanese, I'm Morey Hershgordon. We'll see you next time.